when we talk about neuropathy patients, let's just be upfront, okay? Because I'm pretty cut through the crap cake.
Here comes your brother.
Who's
Just
that?
text me. Your brother just texted me. Says I'm just pulling in. I'll be on the line in a minute.
We don't care. That's all excuses. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Medical doctors, do they see sicker patients than us or healthier patients than us?
Sicker.
Would you agree, Dan?
I agree. Yeah.
No. Where do patients with neuropathy go now?
The
Medical doctor. Pain clinic.
So when they come to your office, are they going to be sicker than your normal patients or healthier than your normal patients?
Sicker.
Well, when it comes to neuropathy, they'll be sicker.
Now, they'll be sicker on every level. These are going to be the sickest people that ever used a walker to get into your office.
They're desperate.
Well, their level of health is nothing that you guys have seen before,
All right. Yeah.
When I used to work in the hospital in Italy, he used to say, that the doctor, we're going to see a picture of him in a little bit here, he used to say, well, you guys work on nothing. And I was just at a compliance seminar, and that's the truth. The ortho-neuro exam on our patients are negative most of the time. Rare that you'll get a radiculopathy or a full-blown sciatica, maybe 1 in 30.
You're right. I mean, before decompression, I hardly ever would find a lot. But of course, when we start advertising for decompression, we start bringing in a little bit of the neuropathy patients.
And so you have to kind of get your mind around what these patients are, how you can diagnose them, and what's the proper treatment protocols. Because if not, they will drive you out of practice. That you will just, quit because you don't get results. You've got miserable people, that are sick. And if you don't do it right, remember, there is no, how do you say, national support group for low back pain, is there? No. There's no national support group for PI patients. So you could screw them up, then they're not going to tell anybody. But if you screw up a neuropathy patient, they're going to get on the horn and they're going to spread the word, and before you know it, you can have congressional investigations for all I know, because they have ties all across the country. As a matter of fact, not this weekend, but next weekend, we're going to be in Washington, D.C. for a neuropathy conference, medical doctors, and we're bringing some of our members in and try to learn a little bit more, get these guys educated on what neuropathy is and what's the medical way to do it, what are they doing, what are they thinking about, what's the frontiers of research, things like that. So, I mean, it's all well and good, everything's good to get patients and make money and everything, but the bottom line is results,
Joe, do you have medical doctors as clients?
As clients? No. I mean, in my office or as neuropathy stuff?
As neuropathy stuff.
No.
They're not interested in learning what you got?
Well, they might be interested, but they don't want to pay. So who gives a shit, right? We have a group of podiatrists down in Tucson that were interested, and a bunch of a couple of MDs in New York City that were interested, but it's too far outside their model,
Yeah.
They don't want to change.
They can't really actually believe that you can help them. The first thing, why I think your group can really do something good if they have enough people, is that they can raise the awareness up. Think of it this way. How many accident lawyers did we have 10 years ago?
A lot less.
A lot less. So why? Because the advertising raises the awareness up. The good news is if we can circle the city, we can take care of business,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And we can be the men. We can be the guys that do it. So it's best to keep it in the group, because if you have some guy who gets a wind of, oh yeah, this neuropathy is good stuff, and he goes in there. And I've had guys call me up who they'll try a laser, they'll try an ultrasound. One guy says, oh, I'm going to put neuropathy in the newspaper, and the next thing you know, he's got his office full of these people. He has no clue how to take care of them. He's rubbing their feet, and he's taking their money, and he didn't feel good about it, so he called me up, and I said, hey, man, that's no way to run a railroad. So if one of these people go to a chiropractor who says they can help neuropathy, and all they do is get screwed, what's the chances of them going to a chiropractor again, even if he can help them?
Yeah.
Pretty low.
Is that what happened to Discovery Chiropractic here in Atlanta?
Never heard of them.
I thought they were doing your neuropathy thing.
I don't know.
So you don't have anybody in Atlanta?
Nope.
Huh.
Let's check them out, though. Let's check them out. I got more lawyers on my phone than chiropractors, unfortunately. So let's get going. Give you a walkthrough of this. This is a new practice model. This is what you got to understand. That you guys been doing webinars before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to mute you now. Just raise your hand if you get a question, all right? Or even if you want to make a comment. A new practice model. Obamacare or neuropathy care. Now, what people don't really gather is that this is a completely different model of practice. It's cash, it's referral, it's getting the patients in, and it's based on the time that I spent in Italy. Okay, it was created from my practice in Italy where I couldn't advertise, couldn't put my name in the phone book. I just had a little bitty card about as big as your two fingers on to ring the bell. That was the only signage or advertising that I could do. That my office was in a condo behind a bar, and you had to click the gate to get in. So it's a different model, and no one can offer you this sort of stuff, okay, because they don't have it. Okay, Concentra Laboratories, we sell products that create financial benefits to us and to our members, personal joy and satisfaction in their workplace, and healthier, happier patients and their families, enriching the lives of people connected through us. Marketing is about knowledge. You need to know your client, the mediums, technical skills, what you can say, how to say it, how not to get in trouble, and knowledge from your mistakes. Okay? A word to the wise. You can fool the fans, but you can't fool the players. So a lot of guys who are watching this neuropathy stuff going on, they might say, oh, well, he's telling me this and he's telling me this. But when you're on the inside looking out, or you're a player, you know what the deal is. And you can make mistakes. So there's no reason that you have to make the mistakes. In 11 years of neuropathy care marketing and 400 guys doing this across the country, we've made all the mistakes that you need. It's okay, I say. Start from zero and see how far you get before your questions get too hard for you on marketing, or what we say is the attract, or retain, which is what we say is the exam, okay, advanced neurofoot analysis, or the protocols, the treatment protocols, which we call treat. And you got to realize the number of questions that I had to go through to come up with one workable answer that could be easily implemented. So we got easy new patients for newbies, neuropathy patient marketing system, attract, retain, and treat, niche marketing. And so guys that don't know niche marketing, they don't get it, you know. Okay? It's been tried and tested. We know what works. If you don't know what you're doing, it really doesn't matter how much or how good your marketing is. It's a waste of your time and money. Step-by-step internal and external marketing systems at almost zero cost to get going. All the way up to TV, which I don't know if I'm going to show you tonight, but we got a TV guy we have ads in the can. You pull the trigger, and they get you 30% off on your TV marketing, plus free spots, plus you don't have to pay them. But with us, it's not just marketing. You know, there's also neuropathy stuff in the system. In-depth video teaching allows you to see so many different cases of neuropathy that your clinical excellence soar. If you've seen it, you can diagnose it, you can treat it. So let's look at the 5 steps to neuropathy patient care that we cover. Distinguish nociception from neuropathy. Categorize patient's primary disorder. Demonstrate medical necessity. Formulate individual treatment plans and monitor outcome measures. Now, if you don't do these facts right here, these little things right here, it doesn't matter what you do because the board can come down on you and Medicare and whatever auditing that they want. All this stuff, everything you see, right, all this videos and paperwork and everything is already loaded up on an iPod, an iPad, an iTouch, or we have a little computer for you, a little, remember what they call those things? Books? Notebooks? Because iPod training is effective, okay? They did a test at Sony. It's easier for you to understand and follow and implement because I'm not about sending you a box of crap, of DVDs and folders and flyers that you can go stick in the garage with the rest of the DVDs and flyers and say, oh, it didn't work. I take the money and tell you, oh, it didn't work. Well, you didn't do it. You didn't finish it. I make it simple and easy for you to get it through, get it done, and get going with this thing. Usually takes about 2 weeks. So this is, I want to go my little highlighter here. When you talk about values and principles that we have over here, and you talk about profitability down here, you got to ask yourself, well, where are the people that you really value in your practice? And they give you value, you know? They follow some good principles. Let's talk about, maybe I'll open this up and say, who's a profitable patient for you guys? What kind of patients are highly profitable?
Well, decompression.
Decompression patients. So if you have decompression patients, do they value what you do?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if they value what you do and they're very profitable, then they're up in this section over here, right? How about the screening patients that you do? Are they profitable when you go to a company that has good insurance? Are they profitable?
Yes.
Yeah, but where's their values, or where do they value what you do, and how does that make you feel? Down in here, right?
Yeah.
How about the people that bring their kids in for adjustments, huh? That's pretty valuable, right?
Yeah.
But do they do it just because you get rid of the copay? You know, I think the majority of people out there are stuck down in here. Low profitability and patients who don't really value what you do. What we try to do is this right here. Live in this zone here. High profit patients, cash patients that really love and value what you do. Okay? So let's just get rocking on this thing. I got to get my pointer out here. That's good. What are you cooking there? Let's go. Did you find that interesting? And this is about me now. This is Dr. Joe, J.O. Doduro right there. If you Google Scholar Meet, these are some of the stuff that you'll see. This is about stroke. This is vestibular stuff. This is stroke. This is, you guys, anybody you guys ever hear about hearing and chiropractic? Anybody ever notice something about that? Well, if you look at this paper right here, you'll see that the only paper that actually proves that was written by this guy right here. So I have been published in numerous journals, twice in this one, once in this one, once in this one, once in this one, once in this one, a couple times in this one. I'm not sure if I ever made, if my stuff ever, and I'm not sure if I ever got into those ones, but I did submit them. This is my town in Vicenza. It's a UNESCO city. You guys might recognize that as the Lincoln Memorial, because, the Jefferson Memorial, because he loved the architecture there. This is the Congress of the Society of Italian Neurologists. That's me. I'm the only chiropractor ever to speak and present research there, and actually I did it twice. This was the next year in Naples. We did vestibular migraines, and that helped me to understand pain and pain processing. This is the third World Congress in Neurology and Rehabilitation in Venice, where I presented my hearing paper. This is Hôpital Leriboise. Okay, this is the stroke centers of Europe. Right here, if you look down here, and I think I have a better picture right here, it says Urgency Cephalie. This is a headache emergency room. So every person with an acute headache gets sent to this hospital where they do ultrasound Doppler of their necks to see if they've had a stroke. And we work shoulder to shoulder with these people because, you know, strokes do happen. This is about changes in vestibular response. This is the Congress Mondial de Chiropractic of the WFC, where I presented my stroke research. This is the International Headache Society in Rome. Only clinician actually to be presenting there, much less only chiropractor. I also presented at the Rome Symposium when I was over in Italy. Hey, look at that lovely paper. I don't know if you heard that. Well, I was actually written up in Psychology Today. I had one of the writers. She was pretty amazed that this stuff could happen. Now, this was a hard paper to finish. There's the 6th International Conference on Stroke there in Monte Carlo. Yeah, it's nice, huh? It's nice what I get to do on my conferences. And this was pain evoked potential. So this is Dr. Zanetti's office. There's Dr. Zanetti, and there's Dr. Tamburin. These are MD PhDs right here, working at the University Hospital, and then they open their own little place there. There's that one, Dr. Joe. This is the top. This is one of the top 5 neurologists in all of Italy, and that's Dino. He does the EMGs and stuff. And this is me explaining to them the neuropathy system, and they bought this. This guy has put on conferences through Europe talking about neuropathy. So when I speak to these scientists and clinicians and medical doctors, they understand what we're doing, and what we're doing is the real deal. Here's the place I used to eat my lunch. It's right across the street from my office. That's my patient. They're all my patients. And you know, you can have a glass of wine at lunch there in Italy. It's not a crime, you know. And these are my little snacks that they would make. Nice. That would be my lunch. These were good. The lady was a great cook, and she loved to cook, and she loved the snails. This is polpo. These are that's good stuff. I should have never done this, Michele. So hopefully this will open a door to you on some different ways to practice. This is our museum in Vicenza. Because there is a huge prevalence of neuropathy in the United States. Diabetic neuropathy, multiple sclerosis, spinal cord injury, post-herpetic neuralgia, cancer, post-stroke pain, HIV. Look at this stuff. Low back pain makes up 5 times the amount, 4 times the amount of a normal, no more than that. 5 is 1/6 of the patients have low back pain related neuropathy. And these are your chiropractic failures. Even if you can stimulate them enough with your vibrations and adjustments and whatever the heck you do to them, or decompression, if you don't do neuro rehab, they don't get better. So I don't know how anybody went to Palmer here, but you know, I went twice. I went after I finished it in Italy. I came and got my master's degree here at the Palmer Center for Chiropractic Research, and on the same day of 20 years from the day that I crossed the stage at Palmer for the first time, I crossed for the second time as getting my master's degree. And this is some of the research that Dr. Lopez and I did while we were there. A study conducted at the Palmer College of Chiropractic was the prevalence of diabetes at the Palmer Clinic. how many patients had diabetes in the clinic there? On average, right? How many patients do you think, that have diabetes? Well, the number's about 10%. And in our offices, the number's about 30%, which shows that our marketing works. It gets us our target patient. This is a conference that I was lucky enough to go to in San Francisco, 12th International Conference on the Mechanisms of Treatment of Neuropathic Pain. Doctors from researchers and clinicians and researchers from all over the world. Was there any chiropractors? Yeah, there was me and this guy here from Logan, who's in their research department, who was wondering why they weren't going to be doing any imaging for pain. Beautiful place, reminded me a lot of Amsterdam, where I got my diplomat training. This is over 100 years old, this building. Beautiful. Right there was Dr. Bennett, McGill Faculty of Dentistry. Has anybody heard of the McGill Pain Questionnaire? Well, in the United States, in North America, McGill University is probably way, way, way up there as far as pain processing and pain research. Okay? So he gave a presentation, and it was very amazing that you could understand what he was saying and understand how that fits into our work with neuropathy care. He did a lot of his research on chemotherapy-related neuropathies. So when you understand the nervous system, you understand all levels of the nervous system, of the peripheral nervous system. So you have large fibers, smaller, and still smaller. All of them are affected differently by disease, and you have to be able to quantify and classify these. And that's what we give you in the peripheral neuropathy marketing system. Attract, retain, and treat. Okay, you can read that stuff all off. You don't need me to do that. But then every month we give you webinars. So let me give you some webinars. Exam forms, current research and updates, chemotherapy and neuropathy, diagnostic and treatment updates, CA training, statin drugs, neuropathy pain, the drugs, clinical cases, and neuropathy care. What the other guys don't know makes you great. Statins and neuropathy. Can I really eat a cheeseburger and fries every day and not worry about cholesterol? Falls and neuropathy, falls prevention and rehab, which is part of our outreach program. We give you about, I think, 3 talks to do to go and bring these people in. Know what you're talking about. Herpes zoster, scorpion spiders, neurotoxicity. We get that with Lyme's disease. Getting MD referrals. I got 2 MD referrals this week. It's only Tuesday. Carpal tunnel, lupus, diabetes, hereditary neuropathy. There's a very bright presentation by one of the finest presenters in the country. Red flags that can trigger an audit. Neuropathy is big business. Clinical cases. What every chiropractor should know about diabetes and chiropractic care. Breakthroughs. This is where we show the doctors how they've grown in their office. Guillain-Barré syndrome. Neuralgia paresthetica and true compressive neuropathies that you'll see. Sensory changes and loss of intraepidural nerve fiber density in painful unilateral nerve injury. Peripheral sensory neuropathies in HIV/AIDS patients. Focal entrapments of neuropathies. Treatment updates, Morton's neuroma. And you know what's best? It all works. It works on all levels. It works on the science, it works on the marketing, and it works on the treatment. You know, we are first in neuropathy patient marketing, now leading the way in results. We did a survey with our members across the country, and we asked the patients, we had 17 offices participate across the country, are you satisfied with your care? And within the respondents that we looked at, 90% of the patients were satisfied with their care in as little as 2 weeks. Okay? Now, that might be hard for someone to believe, but we had 100% satisfaction with diabetic neuropathy. With toxic neuropathies, we had 100% patient satisfaction. With stenosis and low back surgery, post-surgical stuff like that, we had 100% patient satisfaction. So it's not a chiropractic miracle, it's real. And I'm a member of the Peripheral Nerve Society. You know, I go to these meetings. I know what I'm doing. We're having a conference in Phoenix in 2-3 weeks where we're having one of the, probably the top man in his field happens to be at ASU talking about C-fiber function. And when I talked to him and explained to him the changes that we were seeing, very interested in our stuff, never been seen before in the world, really. And we're going to be doing research together to help promote what we do as chiropractors. Let me see what these guys got. Go, Keith. What do you got to say, Keith?
Joe, I noticed you're a DAC Ben, chiro neuro. I mean, me and Dan obviously don't have that training. I mean, it's making me a little intimidated that you're talking about all these different things, and I'm like, holy crap, he's probably used to working with them because he's got his chiro neuro background, but we don't.
Well, that's a great question, but I'll tell you who the guys that enjoy the stuff that I do the most. It's the guys that have been in practice for 25 to 45 years. So I know that, you know, I can put the razzle-dazzle on everybody and make them think that they can't possibly understand me, so it must be them, you know. You know how some of these professors and teachers and seminar leaders are?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that that's a bunch of BS, because if it's not simple, the patient can't understand it. And if the patient can't understand it, then you're not going to be selling much, are you? You'll be standing up there being, you know, smart. So this stuff works right at the patient level, right at what you're doing, because it is simple, you know.
Can you kind of give us a brief background as to what's currently out there now for these neuropathy patients, and how are we so different? What are we going to be doing that's so different?
Well, I think you're going to be getting them better.
That's the hope.
That's the bottom line. I don't really know what everybody else does. Why would I? Why would I care? I've created something that works. It's reproducible. It gets, everybody makes money, and the patients get better. What I mean, what am I missing? So I think I'm going to do it better, faster than 2 weeks in something that's incurable? So I mean,
I was just wondering, like medically, they don't really have anywhere to send these patients, right? I mean, I would think as a medical doctor, you know, you don't have much to offer them, so you're kind of frustrated when they come in.
Yeah, depending on how educated your market is, that's where you have to have a breakthrough, because sometimes the hardest thing to do is to convince the patient that you can help them, because they've been told over and over and over again there's nothing you can do. And that's why the patients are so great when you say, yeah, you know what, I'm pretty sure I can help you. But they know they're really pissed off if you don't know what you're doing, and you say to them, yeah, well, another 30 visits and we should get on top of this. And they give you another $6,000, and you're screwing them out of the way, because you could have told them, if you really had a clue on the first visit, how much you were going to help them, how much better they were going to be, and how to manage these people. So as far as what's out there, there's really, you know, there's not much.
I may be jumping ahead of you, Joe, and I apologize, but so can you give me a kind of general overview of what's entailed? I mean, is it like in decompression, we do 20 visits, you know? Is neuropathy something like that too, where everybody gets a kind of a cookie-cutter plan?
It's all in the system.
Gotcha.
It's in there. I don't leave you hanging dry. I'll leave you hanging dry today, because we're not here to share the secret sauce. We're just to explain to you that this is what we do, and this is how we make it roll. Dr. Matt, are you there? You see? He turns on his computer, and then he goes and watches his kids. So we don't have to worry about him. Matty Dunn, are you available? Let me see if I can send him a pin number here.
Yeah, I'm here.
That's Matty Dunn?
Yep.
Matty Dunn, You got about 24 hours to send me that contract, or we're going to
What
send the
contract?
Marines into you. Guy's a funny guy. So that's basically what I'm here to talk about. I mean, it's it. Getting results, getting patients in the door, and doing it the right way. When we talk about compliance, the stuff that we're doing is probably the most compliant thing in chiropractic. We're thanks to being with my brother and understanding the stuff that's going on, we're bulletproof, and we're doing something that's way out there, but you can protect yourself on so many levels. Go, Dan.
I have a question for you. I think what Keith was asking too as well is, when we sit there and I hate to go back to decompression concept, but that's the only thing we can really relate it to as a niche. But when we went there and we talked about when I went and talked about my table, they showed me the table, they showed me what it can do. They explained to us how we would treat a patient. So kind of enlighten us on the what does it entail to treat a patient who has neuropathy. This is diabetic neuropathy, and is it, like you said, is it laser? Is it this? I mean, just what does it take on my part as a clinician to help that patient get better?
It takes you about
not giving the secret sauce.
$3,300 to buy the system, and it costs you about $3,000 to buy the equipment. That's what it takes. Big question is, what do you do? What equipment do you use, Doc? Right.
Right. That's my question. Yeah.
Yeah. So the answer is, we use the equipment that works. That's all you're going to get. We do the shit that works, because that's why we run. That's how we do it. So I mean, it's not a secret. Just start now and start trying to figure it out for yourself, or buy it and I'll lay it out for you with treatment protocols, finances, financial packages, all the office paperwork, all the talks, all the protocols, all the exam techniques, and basically, are you doing it sight unseen? Sure, you're doing everything sight unseen. But the reason that we're trying to get everybody together is to get them to understand that this is the way you do it in a powerful group. Dr. Matt, he got his hand up, but he's got his microphone off. He's out of it. Got a follow-up, Dan? Got a follow-up there?
Yeah, I'm not trying to figure out how to do it myself. There's no way in hell I'd even attempt to do that. However, what I am curious about is, I need a little more information. I need to know how I'm treating these patients. Is it? I mean, you don't have to tell me the secret sauce, but you can enlighten me on, is it this? A little bit of this and a little bit of that is kind of what I'm looking for. Just something besides you saying, hey, this works, and just.
So let's do it like this. So let's do it like this. Let's do it like this, Dan.
Okay.
First of all, you don't have to know. If you want to do neuropathy, you buy the system. You don't ever have to take care of neuropathy patients. The information that I teach you, just in doing your exam, you will use every day that you put the key in the door for the rest of your life. Okay? That's all. Secondly, you're trying to tell me I'm selling you a program just like you're selling your patients a program, and you're telling me that, well, Doc, I'd really like to do this, but why don't you give me like 10 visits or 16 visits, and then let me decide if this is the right thing to do.
No, that's not. No, listen, I'm not trying to tell you anything. First of all, because I would never disrespect you in that manner.
No. I'm just making.
Hold on. Let me say something here. But I do 100% to all my patients. Let's go with decompression. I do every time. I tell them that you're going to be on this table for 28 minutes and 15 seconds. We're going to decompress it. We're going to cause it create a negative pressure inside that disc, allowing that disc to come back in. So they have a legit. It's not. I don't go to them and say, "Look, you get on this table. You just do what I say, and you will get better." Even though that's true, I don't do it that way because they have to have a little bit of knowledge to say, okay, you know what, I will spend my money for what you're trying to tell me, what you're saying is true. But I don't sit there and just say, get on the table, shut the fuck up, and you're going to get better. I don't do that. I explain to them in detail, and that's all we're asking, just something.
So this is all you get, dude. This is it.
Is that, you understand?
Yeah, I understand. You can ask, but doesn't mean I have to tell you. What's the difference?
That's true. You don't.
The point I'm trying to make, Dan, is we got it all locked up. There's no reason that it can't be done in your office if it's been done in 400 offices across the United States. This is what I'm getting at. And what I'm doing with you guys is creating a place where you can all get together and do it and dominate the market and keep the other guys out. That's it. This is why we're doing this special for you. We're not doing anything special for you guys because, you know, for any other reason. That I think it's a great plan. That's what we do here in the Valley. We have 12 doctors. We market together. We advertise together. We share our cases, and we share our expertise. That's what I'm selling. Let's see if Uncle Matt wrote a question here. Yes, I am. Let's see. I got a hand up here. Let's see. Go, Keith. Go, Keith.
Hey, Joe, I noticed on your previous slide there that the program said $21.97. How did it jump from that to $3,300?
Inflation.
Or is that just because we know your brother?
No, I'd say that the good news is that you've got a chance to save about $900 if you guys do this in the next couple of weeks, because I'm raising the price again because it's a steal. And I'm not adding anything. I'm adding stuff to the whole system. We keep adding stuff, well, every month, and we never raise the price. Now we have the ability to walk people through this system with a path to success, where we have coaching every week and lessons that are lesson plans that are set up for you to. You don't have to do it all by yourself. It's very simple, fast, and it's all broken down. So yeah, save $900 because it's going up again as of January 1st, or maybe, yeah, probably January 1st.
So can you tell us what comes with the, I mean, your program sounds like it's just a bunch of how-to videos and how to market and different ads and so forth, all this stuff you've been showing us, but what's the equipment purchase? I mean, what exactly are we getting for the other $3,000?
Well, here's what how many of you guys have actually looked at the websites and downloaded this form right here? Raise your hand. 1, 2. Very good. So you need to kind of hit the websites and find out what's going on so you understand what you get. This is the stuff that's in the iPod right here. Okay? This is the Christmas tree. Okay? In our online learning system, we give you all the lights and tinsel and bulbs and things like that. So it's the way, this is how to get going. But doing neuropathy care is easy, but it's not simple. And we definitely make it easy. So what we're trying to point out is that this is the basic package in all the online learning. You get tons of attract, tons of retain, and tons of retreat stuff. Okay? All backed up by documents and research and stuff that you can just turn the key and do it. So hey, that's $32.97. You're going to have to spend between $25 and maybe $200 on diagnostic equipment, things that you've never seen before, things that aren't even available in the United States. but stuff that you're going to need to be able to do the advanced neurofoot analysis and, you know, categorize these patients and show you know something about what you're doing. Your treatment equipment will run you anywhere between $250 and $3,500 depending on what you have within your walls and what you can do it with. And I'm not, you know, it's not about selling equipment, because if you can do it with what you have, that's great. But you have to demonstrate that. We do the same analysis, all of us do the same advanced neurofoot analysis, and we see a minimum of 100% improvement in nerve function every 2 weeks. If you're putting cold packs and cold laser or whatever the heck you're doing, and you think you're getting great results, just show us. Just send me back the pre and post exams. That's when we will add something to the system. But in 3 years of doing this, no one sent me anything. So your total outlay is, what can I say? What would be the, let's say the maximum that you would spend would be $10,000. So if you can't see 3 neuropathy patients between now and then you retire, don't buy the system, because you won't make money on it. That's what I have to say. Dr. Matt, did you get your microphone working yet? Or are you watching this on your iPhone? Well, fellas, that was a brief overview of the stuff that we're doing. These are just the webinars. These are all online. Everything that we did is online for you to download and watch. We have an e-store with 150 products. This is all stuff to get you going, broken down into categories. It's very simple, very easy. Even guys, you know, who graduated from life could do it. You know? Go ahead, Keith.
So, tell me a little bit about this discount thing, and how long does a treatment take in the office, and I mean, where are the capacity blockages? If you're trying to pull this into a regular, fairly busy chiropractic office, can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, you don't need a whole lot of space, and everything we do is unattended, so I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
How long's the treatment time, typically?
Since it's unattended, it's really not a big, you know, a major problem, because all you do is you just get another setup if you get too busy. So it's just completely reproducible. You know, it doesn't need a lot of space. You don't need a lot of time. It doesn't take any more time than it takes to do an adjustment. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. And do you have doctors across the country that are utilizing your system that we can call and talk to?
Sure, you can call them all, but they won't tell you anything. They'll tell you to call Dr. Joe, and here you are sitting in a meeting with him.
Well, I'm hoping that they would tell me how it's working for them.
It's working good.
Well, I'd rather hear it from them.
Well, Keith, if I was the type of guy that got his jollies out of screwing chiropractors out of $3,000, don't you think I'd send you to the people that would tell you that anyway? Did you ever think about that? Here's the thing. They think that the doctor, me, who's selling it, maybe I'm scamming. And so what I do is then, let me talk to somebody else. Maybe he's not scamming. But a scammer's got that all locked up anyway. They won't tell you anything. They don't know if you're Keith, my brother Matt's friend, or some guy across the street that's trying to steal his ideas. They're not stupid. Plus, they're busy. We do not usually send that out, is the response. I'm sorry, that's just the way we do it. I can send you names, but I really don't see what the point is. I understand that, but if I had the guy sitting in front of me, you know, I'd tell him what it was. You think I'm going to sell this stuff to my brother to screw him because it doesn't work? No, I don't think so. So that's it for tonight, guys. I'm hoping that we can get you on board so that we can come to Atlanta in January and school you on all this stuff. and you're far away from buying the system. I understand that, because you all you have to do is decide what you want to do. We'll see how many guys we can get into the group. We can give you a group discount and get you going. And as soon as everybody's up to speed, we'll get going, and I'll come out there and learn you up, teach you up, and get you ready to rock and roll, because that's a great way to do it. We already have a guy in the southern, I thought he was south, but anyway, he's got 4 clinics that are ready to come in, and we'll try to get a nice ring around the city, and then just market the hell out of this thing, and make sure that everybody's up and running and doing a good job. Remember, I'm always there on the web. Send me an email. You can talk to one of our helpful staff people, and we'll get you ready to go. Any last questions before we have dinner? Very good. Guys, it was a great pleasure. Thanks for being here. And hope to have you on board soon, and I'll see you on the web.